another very important section of the Buddha's teachings dealing with the salayatana, the six sense bases. The six sense bases we have to consider from a different angle. Why? Because our feelings, which is our source of suffering, arises because of contact at the six sense bases. And there is contact at the eye, the ear, the nose, tongue, body and mind. Feeling arises. So, if we don't want suffering, we have to limit these the contact. If we have too much contact, then a lot of feelings arise. So more suffering arises. So, for example, if a person is a very busy businessman, it's very difficult to limit your contact. You have to contact so many people, you have to think of this, think of that and all that, and you have to be so busy. So because of more contact, you have more chances of suffering. That's why a person on the spiritual path, he renounces the world. He doesn't want to have so much contact with the world. So when you limit your contact at the six sense basis, and then you limit your chances of suffering. So later we will go to that, the other aspect, the six sense bases. Now we come to the 23rd Samyutta, called the Radha Samyutta. This Venerable Radha is supposed to be a monk who came into monkhood at an old age. The first sutta, 23.1 at Savatthi. Then the Venerable Radha approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to him, Venerable Sir, it is said, Mara, Mara. In what way, Venerable Sir, might Mara be? Mara here refers to Satan in the English translation. But here, in this sutta, Mara refers more to Marana. Marana means death. Death. The Pali word Marana means death. And the Buddha said, when there is body Radha, there might be Mara, or the killer, or the one who is killed. Therefore, Radha, see the body as Mara, see it as the killer, see it as the one who is killed. See it as a disease, as a tumor, as a dart, as misery, as real misery. Those who see it thus, see rightly. Let's stop here for a moment. That day we read one sutta about, I think was it Yamaka, who had the wrong view, that when an Arahant dies, he passes away and is totally annihilated. Then towards the end, Venerable Sariputta gave a simile of a rich man. Somebody wanted to kill this rich man, so he planned his scheme and went to work as a servant for this rich man and served him very well until the rich man had total trust in him. So when he was together with this rich man in a lonely place, he took the opportunity to stab and kill the rich man. So the Venerable Sariputta says, in the same way, these five aggregates, we have trusted the five aggregates so much, just like the rich man trusting that servant. So one day, when we are old, then the five aggregates will kill us, just like the killer killing that rich man. So that's why the Buddha says, see body as the killer, or the other hand, you can also see it as the one who is killed. Similarly, when there is feeling, perception, volition, consciousness, Radha, there might be Mara, or the killer, or the one who is killed. Therefore, Radha, see the aggregates as Mara, see them as the killer, see them as the ones who are killed. See them as a disease, tumor, as a dart, as misery, as real misery. Those who see it thus see rightly. And he asked, "What, Venerable Sir, is the purpose of seeing rightly?" The purpose of seeing rightly, Radha, is revulsion. Seeing rightly is also can be said to be seeing clearly as they really are. So when you see the five aggregates really clearly as they really are, then you experience revulsion or disenchantment. And what, Venerable Sir, is the purpose of revulsion? The purpose of revulsion is dispassion. And what, Venerable Sir, is the purpose of dispassion? The purpose of dispassion is liberation. And what, Venerable Sir, is the purpose of liberation? The purpose of liberation is Nibbana. And what, Venerable Sir, is the purpose of Nibbana? And the Buddha said, "You have gone beyond the range of questioning, Radha. You weren't able to grasp the limit to questioning. For Radha, the holy life is lived with Nibbana as its ground, Nibbana as its destination, Nibbana as its final goal." That's the end of the sutta. In the sutta, the Buddha said, "Nibbanang paramang sukang." Nibbana is the greatest bliss. When we attain Nibbana, we have no suffering. So that's why we want to attain Nibbana, because there's no suffering. If there's suffering, why do you want Nibbana? The next sutta. So here I see this sutta, what we just read, also concerns the five aggregates. That's why when I first introduced the book, I said that the Khandha Samyutta occupied 2/3 of the book, and furthermore, another 3 Samyuttas have something to do with the 5 Khandhas also. 23.2 at Savatthi. Sitting to one side, the Venerable Radha said to the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, it is said, a being. In what way, Venerable Sir, is one called a being?" And the sutta, here the translation is, one is stuck, Radha, tightly stuck in desire, lust, delight and craving for body. Therefore one is called a being. Stuck is not a very good translation. It is attached. You see this word being, actually is a play of words here. The word, Pali word for being is satta. In Sanskrit is sattva, satta. And satta happens to be a past participle of sajati. The word sajati means attached or stuck. So satta being a past participle of sajati, it also means attached or stuck. Also means being. So the Buddha says a being is so called because it is attached, tightly attached in desire, lust, delight and craving for body. Therefore one is called a being. One is attached, tightly attached in desire, lust, delight and craving for feeling, for perception, for volition, for consciousness. Therefore one is called a being. Suppose, Radha, some little boys or girls are playing with sand castles. So long as they are not devoid of lust, desire, affection, thirst, passion, and craving for those sand castles, they cherish them, play with them, treasure them, and treat them possessively. But when those little boys or girls lose their lust, desire, affection, thirst, passion, and craving for those sand castles, then they scatter them with their hands and feet, demolish them, shatter them, and put them out of play. So too, Radha, scatter body, demolish it, shatter it, put it out of play, practice for the destruction of craving. Similarly, scatter feeling, perception, volition, consciousness, demolish them, shatter them, put them out of play, practice for the destruction of craving. For the destruction of craving, Radha, is Nibbana. That's the end of the sutta. So the simile given here is also a famous simile. Children are playing with sand castles. As long as they are interested in these sand castles, they are very attached to them. But after playing for a long time, they get tired of them. And then they use their hands and feet and demolish them. So in the same way, as we go on the round of samsara, we treasure our 5 khandhas, 5 aggregates, and we like to play with them because they are a source of enjoyment, a source of happiness. But unfortunately, because they are also a source of pain, suffering, and then when we go through the round of rebirths, every time we come, we suffer, and slowly we become spiritually mature. And one day, when we are mature enough, just like these children scattering all the sand castles, we will also lose our interest in the 5 aggregates, and we will practice to let go of them, demolish them. So the other suttas in this Samyutta are a bit similar, so I won't go to the other suttas. Now I come to chapter 24, Ditthi Samyutta, discourses concerning views. Ditthi means views. You can have right views, Samma Ditthi, or you can have wrong views, Miccha Ditthi. 24.2 at Savatthi, the Buddha said, monks, when what exists, by clinging to what, by adhering to what, does such a view as this arise? This is mine, this I am, this is myself. And they said, Venerable Sir, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One. And the Buddha said, when there is body, monks, by clinging to body, by adhering to body, such a view as this arises, this is mine, this I am, this is myself. Similarly, when there is feeling, perception, volition, consciousness, by clinging to these aggregates, by adhering to these aggregates, such a view as this arises, this is mine, this I am, this is myself. When monks, a noble disciple has abandoned perplexity in these 6 cases, he is then called a noble disciple who is a stream enterer. What is this? When a noble disciple has abandoned perplexity in these 6 cases, and then when further he has abandoned perplexity about suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the way leading to the cessation of suffering, he is then called a noble disciple who is a stream enterer, no longer bound to the nether world, fixed in destiny, with enlightenment as his destination. So actually, because we attach to the 5 aggregates as I and mine, so we have a perception that I am or I exist. And once you have the perception that I exist, then you have many views. There becomes a proliferation of views. 24.5 at Savatthi. Monks, when what exists, by clinging to what, by adhering to what, does such a view as this arise? There is nothing given, nothing offered, nothing presented in charity, no fruit or result of good and bad actions, no this world, no other world, no mother, no father, no beings who are reborn spontaneously, no ascetics and Brahmins faring and practicing rightly in the world, who, having realized this world and the other world for themselves by direct knowledge, make them known to others. This person consists of the 4 great elements. When one dies, earth returns to and merges with the earth body. Water returns to and merges with the water body. Fire returns to and merges with the fire body. Air returns to and merges with the air body. The faculties are transferred to space. 4 men with the buyer as fifth carry away the corpse. the funeral orations